week 33 without a gaming computer. I think it's 33, pretty sure. I don't know. Too hard to keep track without going in and looking stuff up. I don't feel like doing that just to come back out here, speak to the camera. So anyways, not a whole lot happened, but at least it's not going to be a 3-minute long video. Yay. Unless I get through all this really, really quickly. There was a possum, a huge possum outside the other day. There's a trap put out to try and catch it, so we could get rid of it. But it looked a little too big for the cage. A little trap cage. It's a live trap, whatever, so it catches them, it doesn't kill them. Yeah, so it looked like it was a little too big to fit in that, but it wandered off and we haven't seen it since, so I think it just stopped here for a while and just left. So at least we don't have to worry about it being around anymore. Other than that, really I just changed around my desk a bit and made a few more plans for after I get my computer finished. So let me show you this real quick. So it's not a huge difference here, but the monitor was pushed back a bit, and I put the other tripod for a camera back in the corner. It's not going to be back behind the monitor anymore since I'm not actually going to be recording console games. You can see my reflection there. But yeah, I pushed that back a little bit. Wiped everything, or dusted everything up again, because it was bugging me. And I moved the intercom from underneath the monitor to in front of this monitor. And I changed the switches around. So what I'm going to be doing after I get my new computer and everything, so right now this switch is going over to the other switch, which is actually right there. What I'm going to be doing, since I still have this AVerMedia, I'm still going to end up using it every once in a while, is I'm going to plug this switch into my computer, primary graphics card, as primary display, and it will have two HDMI cables coming out. One will go directly to this monitor here. It just went blurry because I had nothing to focus on. Focus. Hurry up, camera. Thank you, you're too slow. It'll go, the first cable will come out to the monitor directly. The second one will come out, or no, it won't go direct. I screwed up. Okay, so this will plug into my computer. First cable will come out to the other switch that's back here. I'll be moving that around. Then from that, it will be going into the monitor. The other cable will be going into my AVerMedia, then out from AVerMedia to the switch. So that way, if I want to use AVerMedia, all I have to do is hit a couple buttons on the switches. This type of switch does work in reverse. I already tested that. Some switches don't work in reverse. This one works, so the video feed can go out through the white cable that it's part of right there, out that way, or the video can go out that direction. So that's going to be helpful. So yeah, I'll be getting that done. That way, when I'm not recording stuff with my AVerMedia, I don't have to use my AVerMedia and I can unplug it and everything. And that's also going to be helpful. So some games that happen to use HDCP, this thing will actually black out the screen so you can't see it, since if it uses that, then you can't record it with external capture if it complies with the HDCP stuff, which apparently things don't have to comply with that. It's not a law or anything. They just get cheaper HDMI stuff if they comply with it, which is kind of stupid. But anyways, yeah, it will be going and being an easy way to bypass using my AVerMedia. That way, if I'm not recording and I play a game that will actually block out those cutscenes or certain parts of the game, or just not really like being seen on my AVerMedia, then I won't have to just ignore those black scenes. I'll be able to see them by not having it plugged into AVerMedia. Other than that, I also changed around shelves a bit. So this is a longer shelf. I put that up But I did that after I moved the other one down here. You can see a piggy claus, I'm calling it. It's a piggy bank Santa Claus thing that I got for Christmas. A little RC helicopter and my claptrap. So yeah, this shelf is the one that was up here that the Super Nintendo is on. But I'm going to be using a switch for my monitor. That monitor, the shiny one that you can see me in. I'm going to be using an HDMI switch for that. And since I'm going to be getting, within the next 2 years, a bunch of old consoles like Super Nintendo, I am also going to be getting a regular composite AV freaking switch. So I needed room for the AV switch because I'm just going to be using the audio portions of that switch and running audio into it and then out into my stereo, because right now, if I turn the stereo on here, right now CD is the input I have the Super Nintendo hooked up to, and auxiliary is what the monitor is hooked up to out of its headphone jack. You can see there's plugs right there, a little splitter adapter, taking headphone jack audio, running it into regular AV sort of audio into my stereo here. And I want to use CD inputs only instead of the monitor audio because it's splitting the audio into 2 separate streams instead of being one full thing, and headphone jack, obviously, it cuts the volume in half, so I have to have the volume twice as high, and since I'm using the EQ here, there is some white noise sound introduced. You might be able to hear it. Let me see. Yeah, you might be able to hear that. Let me stop my heater real quick. Hold on. Okay, so you hear that? Alright. I don't know if you're able to hear that or not. I hope you did, otherwise I sound like an idiot. But let me show you what happens if I turn off tape monitor. Tape monitor is what my EQ is being used from. So with tape monitor it goes in my EQ, then back into the stereo. But without tape monitor, it doesn't use the EQ. But yeah, so with tape monitor on, so I'm using the EQ. And now with tape monitor off, so I'm not using the EQ. Just complete silence from the stereo. So the louder I have the stereo, the more that white noise is introduced. Even if the input volume is quieter, because right now there's no audio going into the thing. So yeah, that switch will be helpful. That way I don't have to use the audio out of this. Because even my Blu-ray player here, it also has regular audio out on the back, so I won't have to use the headphone jack of that monitor at all. But because I'm getting the audio switch, I needed room because I didn't have anywhere to put it. Just don't want to add any extra heat to my Blu-ray player since I already kind of froze it up with the Super Nintendo on it. That one time I already explained, I think it was a couple weeks ago. So I put a shelf there, and right now it's just got that stuff there. I'm going to be leaving that there when I get the switch. I'll just be moving it around a little, but the switch will be sitting on that shelf. And up top on this shelf, I already explained, but going to be a Super Nintendo. I'll be getting a Super Nintendo first, and Sega Genesis, the second version Sega Genesis. Probably, I don't remember which one. I think it's the second one. The one that has the regular picture out that's better than if it were using S-Video. I read up information. Apparently there's a version that has better picture out than the version that has S-Video. But I don't know, I'll look around more before choosing. If the one that has S-Video works with S-Video, then I'll just get S-Video and use that. I'll also be getting an S-Video cable for the Super that I ended up getting. But yeah, so Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, then I'm going to be getting a Nintendo 64, GameCube, original Xbox, PS2, maybe PS1, I don't know. I think pretty much every game for PS1 works on PS2, so I might not get a PS1. I don't know. There were some games on PS1 that I played. So yeah, you know, plans for the next 2 years, just game consoles, gonna be kind of neat. Stuff I wanted to do for a while now. Headphone, or headset, not headphones. Headset still stays there. And that's pretty much it. My desk does feel a lot bigger now, though. Seriously, I'm not zoomed in or anything on my camera, so I just sit and turn on my chair. There's a lot of room here. It's awesome. I haven't had this much desk space in a long time, so it's kind of nice. So, yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much everything. I don't know where the camera's looking. I gotta turn the screen around. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. Yeah. I don't know. Guess I'll see you guys next week or on some other video. But until then, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.